Um, all right, well, I've already done like a couple videos about, or a few videos about the Rittenhouse case, but I forgot to specifically address like this issue that al- always comes up in these type of things and bothers me to no end, which is that people they get mad if a white person is treated fairly by the justice system because they say if he was black then yada yada, so like instead of just like getting mad when black people are treated unfairly, they just get mad at every single person who's treated fairly because according to their value system, they just want everybody to be treated badly. That's what they're saying. Because clearly they're not saying, oh, well, we're glad that, Kyle is being treated fairly and we think that black people should too. They're saying, no, if black people don't have a right of self defense, therefore nobody should have the right to self defense. They're terrorist scum. Anybody, all these millions of people or thousands of people who want Kyle to be put in jail for self-defense are terrorists. They're terrorists who are seeking to kidnap a man for defending himself. Um, so yeah, like that argument, I mean, I've seen that argument. Sometimes people say, oh, like they get mad if like a white guy gets arrested and the cops don't shoot him because they say, well, if he was black or if he was, Latino, they would have shot him. Like those people are clearly saying they're cool with black people being shot. They're cool with black people being thrown in jail. The only problem they have with it is they just want everybody to be killed by the cops. Whereas some crazy person like me is over here saying like, well, are just how about they just be fair to everybody? How about they don't murder anybody? But these, leftists or whatever, they like or the pseudo left, they would prefer for, cuz that's clearly what they want. They want everybody to be treated the way that, you know, George Floyd was treated, and instead of like a sane person, somebody with a soul who would be like, oh my God, no, we want nobody to be treated like that. But the pseudo left is the opposite of a sane person. They want everybody to be treated like that, and they cry and rage and froth at the mouth whenever they see anybody not killed by police or anybody who is given the right of self defense. So I don't know. I just hate these people, honestly. Like I fucking really hate so many of these supposed leftists. Like I'm seeing them all over my Facebook feed crying about Kyle and how he's a white supremacist and yada yada. And I'm just like, I don't want these comrades. Like I'm not going to unfriend them all just because whatever, try to give them a chance, keep my enemies closer, whatever. But I have no respect for them. I have no respect for anybody who's mad that Kyle is not going to jail, you know? I mean, people should be mad that he ever had to be charged. There was never any reason to charge him because it was clear from day one that it was self defense. So, you know, um, it's ironic that, I'm a leftist because I support the working class, but there's no greater enemy of the working class than the people who pretend to be leftists in the current era. The current crop of supposed leftists are mostly right wing bourgeois scum who hate workers. You know, they hate rural people, they hate the working class, they hate everybody who's not college woke. Um, so yeah, I don't want those comrades. I would rather, like, I I see Kyle Rittenhouse as more of a comrade than all the scum that are against him. Because even though if he might call himself right wing, um, and probably has some stupid opinions on some things, but at least he's standing up for the Constitution, which you know is pretty much the basis of uh, what should be a lot of leftist principles. Like um, the left was supposed to be based on liberty, equality, and fraternity, and those are enshrined in the Bill of Rights, just as they in France they were enshrined in the Declaration of the Rights of Man. So, in that sense, he's a better comrade than they are, and he might think that leftists are all scum, but that's because you know most of the people who pretend to be leftists, at least a lot of them, are scum. Certainly, a lot of the more prominent ones are scum. So, I'm glad that Jimmy Dore and Glenn Greenwald and Matt Orfala have taken the correct position on this issue with Kyle Rittenhouse. And even the Young Turks eventually figured out they were wrong and apologized, or at least what's her name did, Anna Kasparian. But, you know, but for all the leftists who are like pissing blood because he's not going to jail, I have zero respect for them, and I don't value them as comrades on any level, really. I think they're all saboteurs, and they're all detriment to whatever side they're on. So, you know, congratulations to Kyle. I hope someday he can evolve beyond being conservative, but either way, he's already a better leftist than all the scum that hate him. Uh, yeah, it's just like the fact that people that it's so constant in any of the all these situations for people to just say that they're mad that he's not that this white person is not being treated as badly as black people would be treated in the same situation, and they don't have any self-consciousness. Not even one of them thinks, maybe we shouldn't be calling for everybody to be treated badly. Maybe we shouldn't be promoting police overreach and saying, oh, it's okay to happen to black people as long as it also happens to white people. The fact that these, vile Nazi fucking, you know, terrorists that say this stuff and applaud it, it doesn't ever occur to them that there's anything wrong with that. It just shows like how far they are from having any principles whatsoever. Um, yeah, fuck those people. Anyway, here's to everybody being treated fairly, and here's to everybody having the right of self defense, which is one of the most fundamental natural rights, um, and arguably is the basis of the left because, the right of self defense begets the right of resistance, begets the right of revolution, which is what created uh, leftism, liberalism. This was the kind of stuff that was argued by the proto liberals, proto leftists, like in Lex Rex, like Samuel Rutherford and John Locke, uh, Earl of Shaftesbury, Francis Hutcheson, um, you know, a lot of early radicals. They based a lot of their philosophy on self-defense, the right for the individual to defend themselves, and the right for society and the people to defend themselves against a tyrannical government, and the right to bear arms. These were fundamental to early leftism, early liberalism, and yeah, like the book Lex Rex, the book De Jure Regni Apud Scotus by who was it? Robertson. Anyway, by one of the Scottish reformers, humanists. Um, so yeah, it's like I'm just I just don't people think like that uh some people on the left might think like that I should take pause and hesitate to like alienate my fellow leftist comrades. But what they don't get is it's a whole nother animal. Like to me, leftism is a set of principles. Has nothing to do with some group of people unless that group of people are adhering to those principles. And modern leftists do not adhere to those principles. They just don't. There's a few who do for the most part. I think Jimmy Dore does more than most. Um, but in general, like I mean, they're lofty principles, so maybe nobody fully conforms to them, but certainly those who are shitting all over them with in this issue have no value to leftism, no value to as comrades. Like if they deny a 17-year-old the right of just bare self-defense against adults, pedophiles and stuff like assaulting him and pointing guns at him and stuff, if they deny a 17-year-old that bare right of self-defense, then guarantee they don't give a fuck about anybody else's right of anything else. You either have like basic respect, basic compassion, or you do not, and they do not. So again, I'm not going to unfriend them all because I don't know. I'll just hope they evolve somehow, but I definitely do not mind pissing them all off because just, you know, just because people call themselves leftists does not mean they have any adherence to the left, does not mean they're at all valuable to the left. And certainly those people are not of value to leftist goals. So, yeah, fuck them. That is all.